True. Just FYI.
So we're going to have you all mute yourselves if you can so we can start. And it is Wednesday night, April 14th. I'm Paul. I'll be your host, and welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's Wednesday night midweek Oasis service. I'm so glad, church family, that you're here. Um, what this evening is designed to be is the kind of like an opportunity for us to get together between Sundays. It's where we can be together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between those Sundays. And Reverend Jeff introduced our Wednesday night services in the satsang style with the intention that they be informal, intimate, and rich. Satsang meaning we have a speaker come speak on a subject for about 20 minutes or so and then open it up for that rich, informal, and intimate discussion to follow. Our annual theme this year is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And our monthly theme for April is Stepping into the Unknown. So I welcome you all, our church family and friends. We have visitors from San Jose tonight. I'd like to welcome Dre and his lovely wife and family. They've come searching for Lucian and they found him here. So he's part of our group. I have some information in the announcements I'll tell you about so you'll know what's coming up in the future and see if you want to maybe get our newsletter, and I'll tell you how to do that a little bit later in the program. Just want to let everybody know that our Zoom team is working behind the scenes. I want to thank Peggy Cotton for setting the tone for our Zoom team by doing our grounding prayer right before meditation. Thank you, Miss Peggy, for that. And our Zoom team will work on keeping things quiet and with your microphones and your cameras will be turned off if you haven't done so already. I ask that you do that for the simple reason it improves the quality of our transmission and our ability to have a lot of folks together tonight. With that in mind, I'd like to welcome our speaker tonight, and that's Lucian Baker. Lucian has a rich history here at the Oakland Center. He's one of our practitioners, and as well, he's the leader of our youth and family group, as well as he's a ministerial candidate following in the footsteps of his famous family. We're not going to talk about them, Lucian, tonight. It's all about you. You have carved your own space on Wednesday nights and at Sunday services. So we're going to give it all the due to you. Okay. So, with that in mind, he's going to be speaking into stepping into the unknown within the theme for this month. So, Lucian, thank you for taking this on tonight. And I turn it over to you. I ask that you open us up in prayer.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. Continuing in the perfection and the knowingness and the wellness and the prosperity of spirit. I, Lucian Baker, speak my word, knowing that there is only God in existence. So, from this perfect force, this perfect thing, this perfect energy called God, I am declaring right now that everyone within this congregation, everyone outside this Zoom, everything, every breathe, everything is God. And we recognize that regardless of appearance, regardless of past experiences, we know that God is the only power in our life. And so I bless this experience, knowing we all reflect off each other, knowing that we all put our God selves forward and recognize the God in each other and allow each other to continuously expand. I'm giving thanks, knowing that my word is law and that the universe only says yes. So I celebrate in advance as I release and let go. And so it is. How is everyone doing? So happy to be here on this Wednesday. Stepping into the unknown. Yeah, I won't lie. When I first heard that, I was like, all right, obviously, it's time for me myself to be just a little uncomfortable. Um, we're talking about surrender here. We're talking about surrender. I know that in my younger years, I would always ask a lot of questions and try to know about everything as much as possible before even getting there. I remember my first church camp. I was very nervous because I was only about 12 or 13, and my grandmother just made me be with the teens, even though I was not ready for that. And I was very intimidated. Like, there's going to be these 15 and 16-year-olds, and I don't know, I'm going to say something that's 12 or 13 worthy, and they're going to be annoyed with me. And I had all these questions and I was trying to control the situation. And finally, she made me realize that, look, the earth is just a ball floating in space. This idea of control is, it's a myth anyway. Stepping into the unknown is something we do multiple times daily. You did it more times than you can count. You're doing it right now. I remember Reverend Andriette talking about this in a story where she got on the BART train to commute. And she said she realized, it hit her out of nowhere, that, wow, you don't know who's controlling this train. You didn't get their credentials. You didn't ask when's the last time they had a drink. You didn't ask when's the last time they had a wreck. You didn't look to see their driver. You don't know anything about the person driving this train. Yet you got on and didn't ask any questions and knew that God was going to take you where you needed to go. Yeah. I needed to hear that. What if is a question we can ask over and over again. Funny thing about what if is it can be answered in just one simple word: God. In the beginning, there was God. Right now, in this moment, there is God. That was when I finally had to check myself and say, stop asking what if. There is no what if. God is the only answer. Stop asking what if. Matter of fact, if you see what if, tell him I said his mama. Stop asking what if. To worry is to doubt God. Period. Stepping into the unknown. I have had much growth when it comes to this thing we call surrender and trusting God. It is not comfortable. I know some who can just do it. I respect that. I honor that. But it has taken me lots and lots of growth. I'm still growing when it comes to surrendering. I laugh at myself. I used to be one of those people who would just worry myself sick sometimes. My wife loves to do this thing where we see a movie. I'm just now realizing, wow, it's been the last time since we did this, since we always see movies in our living room now. And we'd always have our movie night and go to the theater. And she would always love to ask me, what's going to happen next? It's like, well, I mean, if I have an idea of how to find out, it's a little unconventional, but you know, the way I was raised, you sit and watch the movie and then you find out. Much as I love to do that, when it comes to my own life, I noticed that I too want to know what's going to happen next and try to have all the pieces before I get there and just know ahead of time everything that's going on. Let's just be honest. We say God is all there is as much as we want, but let's just be honest, y'all. The unknown is just outright frightening. It is. It's frightening. But if I truly believe in this, I have to remember that faith is a muscle. And just like any muscle, we have to build and train it. And the only way to build and train our faith is to test it. See, then we get from having faith in what we think won't happen, having faith in what we don't want to happen. We go from that to having just plain faith that whatever it is that happens is happening for the greater good of my well-being and my consciousness. Now, I'm talking about it right now, but I'm just saying it out loud. Number one, because it's the truth. And secondly, so that when I am having my faith tested and I start talking differently, my community can check me and remind me, hold on, you said something different. Let's stop fearing the unknown. Let's just sit and think about who we are right now in this moment. Just look at yourself. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at how much wisdom you have. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at what you've gone through. Let's just look at that. Obviously, whatever you went through, look at the beautiful manifestation that it caused. Leaping into the unknown is just what we do regularly anyway. I ain't say you weren't going to scrape your knees. You might. But just like everything, we get more and more graceful at it. I'm going to be honest with you. Much of me wanting to wait to try out the things I've always wanted to do in life came from this place of me wanting to wanting me to look like an expert at it before I actually tried it. Yeah. See, I'll take those salsa lessons, but if I get out there and the first night I don't get it automatically, then I'm not going to do it anymore because I don't want to look stupid. But that's not real happiness. See, I don't think it's the unknown that we really fear. Predictability is so much more unpleasant than the unknown if we think about it. Oh, sure, it's comfortable. But after a while, you start getting bored. You start knowing what's going to happen before it even happens. You just know you can call it to the letter, to down to the cent. You just know what's going. Let's be honest. Is that really fun? Is that really living? Who rides a roller coaster to close their eyes on the scary part? That's the best part. What we do fear is pain. But let's remember that all pain is growth anyway. It's growth. Everything you've been through has only made you that much more awesome. Let's welcome the unknown. Let's tell the unknown, bring it, because I know at the end of the day, it is only God. Let's do that. I'm talking to myself. I'm just hoping that if it resonates, you can also keep me in check. I can only talk about me. This idea of control is a myth. We run into pain when we try to control the situation, but when we just put our hands up like we do on a roller coaster and symbolize that freedom of just not caring because you know God has got you, that is living. Bruce Lee talks about being like water. How whatever you put water in, it takes the shape of that. See, that's living, that's surrender. That's God in motion. I used to always get on my grandmother about not locking her car or her house. But I have to remember, this is also the woman who just has blessings falling on her all the time. See, she's on a different channel than me. She's operating a different frequency. When you're living from God mode, you don't have time to worry about those kind of things. Love everything and cling to nothing. This is how we deal with the unknown. Love everything. It's only an extension of you anyway. It's God. I don't care how annoying, how offensive, each and everything we come across is only there for the greater good of our growth and consciousness. Period. To worry is to doubt God. A rapper by the name of Nas said, the craziest things already happened to me. So either you'll be laughing at me or you're laughing with me. He's talking about the crazy things that his fans and hip hop has gone through with him. Yeah, some may be laughing at him. Others are laughing with him because he knows, look, it only made me that much more awesome. And it did. When we look at life from that angle, we can't lose. Let's not forget all the failures that our heroes have gone through, the people who inspire us, the people we look to whenever we want to remember what greatness looks like. Let's not all we're looking is somebody who failed and failed and failed and kept on going. I mean, the failures are the best part of their book anyway. That's what we want to study. There's this show on YouTube called Roast Me. It's one of my favorite things to watch when I need to pick me up and to feel better about myself. And it's just like me and what my homeboys used to do in the lunchroom at recess, and just a bunch of friends roasting each other. There's a character on there by the name of Boo Capone. Boo Capone was a childhood star, and he talks about this. And and from being just a Hollywood star at a very young age, he's seen a lot of great things, and it's been a lot of been through some pretty tough times too. And he talks about it. And pretty much the first few seasons, Boo was everyone's least favorite character on the show. He couldn't really find his rhythm, his jokes. People wouldn't really get his jokes, and oftentimes he would have a rough time on the show. But the show changed due to COVID, and they had to change the format. Now it's more of a one-on-one thing instead of you being on there and battling a whole crew of people. It's you and one person in front of you, and y'all just roast each other back and forth. And Boo has been everyone's favorite ever since then. We know his story by now. It's inspiring. See all those things he went through at a young age, those painful moments in his life were the unknown. And he welcomed them, and he talks about them. He's proud of them. He wears it like a badge. And from that, he's able, you can't insult this dude. That's one of the people who said, one of the people who was battling him said, you can't even roast this guy. He's been through everything. Nothing offends him. That's a beautiful thing. See, that's freedom. When I was working at Wells Fargo, one of the bankers told me, stop taking life so seriously. Stop. Stop taking life so serious. That's not you anyway, who you're looking at. This body is a rental. The force within is infinite. Let's be eager to make these mistakes. Let's be eager to laugh at ourselves for trying something and looking stupid the first few times. Let's just be eager to do that and get it out the way. The unknown is darkness, but guess what? The universe is dark. The universe is pitch black. The universe is where we all came from. My father used to always tell me, stop being afraid of the dark, boy. You came from the dark. You was created in the dark. What are we afraid of? It is only God. Of course, I sit here and say it, but when my faith gets challenged, I'm going to need to be reminded of this. Truth is truth. There's no need to fear the unknown. It always ends up being awesome anyway. Always. It always does. This pain that we fear, this pain that we may anticipate. Let's just think about the times when we went through something painful in life and what was on the other side of that pain. You were more wise afterward. You were sharper. You knew how to see it before it came, and now people look to you for your insight on that situation. That's a beautiful thing. Fear not the unknown. for that is where we all came from. See, this is where being a parent has helped me to understand my own life. I realize now when I look at my own children that I too came from the unknown. Sure, some of us were planned, some of us weren't, but here's the thing. Nothing can plan you for the personality you're about to be and for the light you're about to shine. Nobody can shine your light because you are unique, which is why we need your light to shine as brightest at all times. But nothing prepared anybody for the being you would be. You were unknown. And that's the beautiful thing about us, about this life within us, this God energy. We all rock it differently. That's why we talk about a world that works for everyone. This isn't just some fairy tale. I need you to be you. I need you to be comfortable being you because I want to see the big picture. We all know if you love art, the very thing that makes art beautiful is the detail in the picture. If you're busy being somebody else, we don't get that detail and the picture doesn't look right. There is nothing of this earth that is too much for you to handle. For you are amazing already where you sit. Already. Look at what you've been through already. It didn't phase you. If you're hearing this right now, you are a rock star. Look at what you've been through. Trusting the unknown is some, man, oh man. Recently, I was working a job that I no longer really liked. Shoot, not only did I no longer like this job no longer really liked me either. We were both kind of just over each other. And finally, that call you get when the vibe just gets too thick and both parties need to meet about it, it was happening. So I know like all the bosses are gonna be in that room, and so now I'm going in, chest poked out mode and whatever. Care about this job? I've been wanting to leave. I hope blah blah blah. And as I was doing that, as I was walking down that long hallway, I got this voice speaking to me, reminding me of, hey, remember how excited you were when you needed a job? When you seriously needed a job, where this was the job you needed most, it was the only thing that mattered at the time in your life. Remember that? Remember when you needed a job? Do you remember that? And I had to think back about how thankful I was when I first got the job and how much I appreciated they picked me out of all the other people who applied. This feeling of love came over me. And I took that with me into this unknown meeting that we were having. And it ended up being a very beautiful meeting. We all laughed. We all remembered how awesome and strong this bond was with us. It was no longer who can poke their chest out the farthest. And I never forget those words from Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith when he says, if you can see it, it is part of you. If you can see it, it is part of you. So that means that any experience I am having is there for my greater good, therefore for an expansion and reflection of me. So, as we know, well, some of us know that East Bay Church of Religious Science actually started out of what my family still calls First Church of Religious Science, which we now call Oakland CSL. And a lot of my years, I grew up there. And something interesting happened that brought me back once I got my practitioner license and everything. I had been in East Bay for a very long time, being a practitioner, about close to 15 years. And my center was going through a reconstruction process. And let's just say that I myself was looking to do something different and go somewhere different. And I wanted to do it in love. I didn't want to leave angry. And so I just prayed about it. And as I was praying, it was weird. It felt like someone was already listening. I'm not talking about the universe. I'm talking about it felt like someone was hearing me, and it felt like someone was praying for me at the same time that I was praying. Spirit, I'm ready for something different, and I want it to be in love. Not too long after that prayer, someone from Oakland CSL reached out and said, hey, we have a position for you over here. How would you like to be the youth and family coordinator? And right away I said yes. And it just made me laugh that, wow, things come full circle. Literally, I am going back home. And that's where I got to meet for the first time a man who has changed my life forever. And that's where I met Reverend Jeff, who welcomed me with open arms. Literally, he didn't know anything about me, nothing about my background. And this man talked to me like we had been friends for 20 years. It was almost like he was smiling at me and I was smiling back at him like, you're the one. It's like we both were saying at the same time. This man showed me how to trust the unknown. There were none of those awkward questions that you would think to ask. He just trusted in me. Changed my life forever. That a man can just open his heart like that, so trusting, and just smile through it. I'm not saying there weren't any times where there were bumps in the road. Of course there were, but all he did was just smile through it. Wow. Trust in the unknown. We do it all the time. You got in your car today not knowing what was going to be on that road. What was along it? You didn't get the weather report today. You didn't get the traffic report. Come on now. I mean, do we really do that? We just get in and just know that life is going to be happening and we fit right in it. We know it subconsciously. I have a little cousin who used to follow me around a lot, especially when we were teens and preteens. And that very short period of my life where I thought I wanted to hit the streets, he hit him a lot harder, to the point where even I had to step back and be like, whoa, cousin, you need to slow down. He looked me dead in my face and said, the only thing I can do is send me back to God. If you say it like that, what else can I tell you? That's trusting the unknown. That makes you fearless. All of the things I feared growing up, when they finally happened, I was like, that's it. It freed me. My first heartbreak, my first time dropping the ball in the end zone, the first time the bully wanted to meet me after school, all these things happened. And after they happened, I was free from them. All the unknown can do is make you more awesome. That's all it can do. Let's welcome the embarrassment. Let's welcome the pain. It's inevitable anyway. Bring it. All you're going to do is add to the awesomeness. So it's 7:30. And as we all know, I'm an Oliver. I can run my mouth. But I think that all of us can speak on what it's like stepping into the unknown. And I really like to just open it up and see how some of us are feeling. We can talk about the unknown as far as our beloved Reverend Jeff. We can talk about other personal things, but really, let's allow the village to speak.
Lucian, this is Dorothy, and I just want to thank God for you, for what you do for this community and what you do for me, sweetheart. I just want you to know that I recognize and know that God is your source and your sufficiency in all things. And I give thanks for you, sweetheart. I give thanks for what you bring to me and this community. I love you.
Love you,
That's
Mama
all I
Baker.
can say. I love you,
Thank
sweetheart.
you so much. I love you.
Yes.
If you'd like to speak and add to the conversation, you can either turn on your camera and wave or put up the yellow hand. If for those that know how to do that. And Peggy will recognize you to keep some order in it. I know y'all must have something for Lucian to share. What I will ask you to think about too in the unknown is Lucian always drops a nugget on us that I get to take home. So if you've collected a nugget from Lucian and want to share that,
All right.
Looks like
I see
Nicole, yeah.
Nicole's hand is up, yeah. Nicole, unmute, there you go.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Is my camera on? I don't know.
yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if I know any of you guys, but I am Lucian's cousin. I'm also a Reverend descended. But I love listening to Lucian speak. Lucian has been such an inspiration just to me and my family, but me especially, because I feel like every time he speaks, like you said, there's nuggets and there's always something. But I got to see Lucian, like I've known him all my life, obviously, because he's my cousin, but to see him be this awesome, empowering, inspiring, just man, soul, just in tune and connected to spirit and all the things that make us is amazing. So I love listening to him speak, and I'm always like over here smiling like he's my dad or something. But I'm super proud of you, cousin, always. And I'm happy that I got to be here and have this experience with you. And we've been talking about the unknown for the last couple of days, and you're right, it's super scary. I just started an entire new chapter of my life, moving back to Dallas and kind of figuring out life. So I'm in the unknown right now, and everything you said was resonating with my like week and a half into my new life. So I appreciate you letting me know you're here, and happy to be present with all of you.
Nicole, where are you from, sweetheart?
I'm from Bay. I'm from the Bay Area, Berkeley, and we moved around a lot. So we moved to Texas when I was 16. Then I've been back to California, Oregon, Washington, and now I'm back
Okay.
in Dallas.
All right. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey, Tosh.
Thank you, cousin. I didn't pay her to say all that, you guys.
He
I
did
promise.
not. He did not.
welcome, Nicole. We're glad you're here. Please
Thank
know
you.
you're welcome, and we appreciate you being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
That's right.
There's baby Taz, almost 3. Yay.
Hi.
Yay,
Hi,
for
sweetheart.
babies.
You're going to be 3 years old.
Sabrina has her hand up. Sabrina, where are you? She's got her-
I'm here. I'm gonna stay off camera tonight though.
Okay.
But listen, I don't I come here, and when I hear you, I feel you. And I just was able to just keep the camera off, keep my eyes closed, and just listen to you guide my heart. And as I sat here, I was just breathing and saying to myself, yeah, this is what I needed. This is right. This is God. This is love. And as I was listening, I keep getting reminded from this wonderful, beautiful community that it's all love. And the opposite is fear. And I can look and see and feel so much how much I can come from fear, react from fear, live from fear. But when I move into the faith and feel the love, I know the truth. I know the oneness. I know that everything is just safe. Like your grandmother not locking those doors, me not locking my heart, everything is safe. And then you said something tonight that really hit me hard. And you said, when you forget, your community reminds you. When I forget, the same community, you, this whole room reminds me. So thank you. You are my blessing for the day. Thank you. Among many, you are my blessing for the day.
Thank you for blessing me. Thank you. We do have it good here, don't we?
Yeah, is that Louis?
Yeah, I I have to say I'm really surprised and extremely pleased that this man has moved himself so far in such a short period of time. He raises my expectation. He blesses my spirit. He acknowledged me with the beauty and the oneness of all things. I bless him, his family, including his grandmother, who I know so well. They have come through a lot, and they have grown substantially. And I bless him because I know he is going to be an awesome, wonderful minister when he is finished his schooling. I can see him having a church bigger than Beckwith. I look forward to knowing him then, as I'm always uplifted by everything he has to say, because tonight I really needed that message. So thank you.
Thank you, Luis. That was wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Lucian, I wanted to mention something that you said that really resonated with me tonight, although there were quite a few little nuggets, as Paul would put it. But I really, really appreciated the mentioning of when we get on a train, when we get on the BART train. We don't know. We don't know anything about that, but we get on totally comfortable and trusting that it's not a belief. We know it. And that's that was so wonderful to bring that up again, because it's so tangible and it's so everydayness, if you will, for us to relate it to our understanding of the power of God within us, and how everything, even especially when the spirit grows so big, this is my interpretation of when we make our transition, is that our spirits get so big and so full, and that they cannot continue to house this body of ours. The spirit must go. It must continue to expand and create and expand and create, and for the benefit of all society, because we are all one with God anyway. So thank you for that. And I have to say, I love that other thing you said, that pain is growth, and fear not the unknown, for that is where we come from. Science has only gone so far to figure out, how, the sperm fertilizes the egg. I mean, they've only gone so far, but other than that, it's a mystery. It's unknown. So thank you for both of those, Lucian. I so appreciate that. Love you. Mwah.
Thank you, Peggy. I love you.
Do we have time for another comment or no?
Yes, go ahead, Maureen.
So I kind of going to change gears a little bit.
Good.
Okay. So I'm thinking about people getting shot, Black people getting shot, and this thought of surrendering, and I just would like to know pointers. How do you surrender to that? How do you surrender to that?
Well, there's a few things, but I think the number one thing that I have to remember, and it's not easy, but is that God is beyond human understanding. God is beyond human understanding, and this is where the serenity prayer comes in for me, which is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I have to trust God in that situation and know I'm not acting like I always understand. Oftentimes I don't. But what I do know is that when I trust and surrender, it always unfolds perfectly for me. We talk about, and when I say we, I mean collectively, us God beings. We talk about this shift in consciousness that we're ready for. You know, oftentimes Christians will talk about Jesus is coming home soon, and many things. And what I have to remember is that God is far too abundant to always show itself the way that I think it's supposed to be shown. God is too abundant for that. It might show up in the form of a president who is hateful and says ignorant things. That might actually be the kick in our behinds that we need to get back to consciousness. And one thing I can say is look at how aware we are. Look at how aware we are. The fact that we're actually talking about, hey, you know, let's stop Asian hate and let's stop this violence against women. And, you know, the world is talking about equality on a level that we have not seen. And I really do believe that what we needed was that uncomfort of someone in a leadership position to just freely talk about hate and ignorant things enough for all of us to say, hold up. If we think about the times when we had a habit we were trying to break or something, it didn't come all nice and beautiful. It came as something very painful. That's how I deal with it. I have to remember that the pain is there for us to elevate. It's there to increase our capacity. And I don't always understand it. I don't always talk about it so clearly and oh, I get it. And no, I don't. But I have to remember that to worry is to doubt God. Do I believe this or not? I don't always have to understand, but what I do get to do is have faith. That's my method. But what you did bring up, Maureen, is something that is very rich right now. And I think we could touch on that all day. Thank you.
Luis?
On that subject, I have not had that experience personally, but looking at all the incidents that I've heard of and seen on TV and stuff in my life, it begs me to wonder if that's not a natural process in the evolution of life. We don't all come here through a nurse and a doctor in a hospital. Some of us come here laying on the street while the entity that is breathing the life into me is laying there in agony, allowing me to do what is necessary for me to show here. as life isn't smooth and easy coming, it is not always smooth and easy going. The experiences that happens based on what we classify as violence may be just another way of individuals, entities learning and growing. Yes, open up, allow life to guide, to have its way, because it's going to do it anyway. Be flexible always, and always being all the time, in all feelings, all methods, all energies, allowing the awareness that the universe is doing what it's doing to guide, to nurture, to nourish, to improve the consciousness of this planet. Sometimes it just improves the consciousness of the doer and the person being done to in a small way because it hadn't been advertised. And if it had been advertised, it influences and shifts the consciousness of the many. We are all growing through this. It is not, we can cry, we can feel, we can have emotions. But to me, the total truth is it is a natural way of the coming and going of life. Look at animals, how they're butchered to provide food for us. It's not pleasant. I've seen that on TV. I have seen documentaries about how they kill cows. It's horrible. The agony those cows go through if they don't die right away, it's, but they still butcher them so that you can have meat to eat. Well, I too can have meat to eat. The process of coming and going is from my point of view, a process of where we are in the moment in terms of what happens to us based on our consciousness, our acceptance of ourselves, and our awareness of our surroundings. The universe is in charge. We are not. Remember that. We are not. The universe is. And things will shift to and not to our liking. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. Dre, would you go next, please?
Yeah. Whew. It's crazy the way things work. I've missed them in San Jose. I've been saying, oh, I'm going to go check out CSL Oakland and, put it off and put it off. And the one day I come, he's speaking. I'm like, wow. Then he's speaking about stepping to the unknown. And I'm in the process of finally picked a career at 43 years old. I finally picked a career. In this process since the beginning, roughly the beginning of the year, I've been told no so many times that no, it don't mean nothing. It means no, not right now. And finally get told yes. And of course, the one thing that worries me is my background check. Sometimes I can clear it, sometimes I can't, but it ain't up to me. It's whatever. They either gonna take me or not. And I was feeling nervous and anxious. And then I signed all my onboarding paperwork yesterday for a place. And looks like I got a field service technician behind my name now. But I'm still waiting on the background check, but I'm not worried. I'm not. It's either going to happen or it's not. I'm okay with either way. But I did see my picture with the field service technician. It looks nice. It looks real nice. It actually had me in tears because this is the first time I've ever had a career that I picked. It wasn't just a job I got to go work. This was something I picked that I know I'm going to be enjoying. It's something I love to do. You know, I volunteered down, like I said, at my center for the data, voice, and sound. And now here I am going to work on data, voice, and sound for a living. You know, I remember you talking about, I can't remember the guy's name, but the little kid on the football team, the littlest dude, and he would get hit and that's all you got? That's how I felt out here. And I remember that every time I got told no, that's all you got? That's it. I remember that. You know, I can't say I believe in coincidences, but something happened to make me come here and hear you today. You know, like I said, I've been putting off coming to see y'all. And here I am going, I'm gonna go CSL today. What? He's speaking? What? And not only did I put it off and then you're here, I've reached out to people trying to get to you and wasn't able to, and here you are. Beautiful, beautiful. Life is beautiful.
Thank you, Dre. That was beautiful. Is anybody else? Paul? Anybody else? Paul, you're still mic'd. Unmute yourself, Paul.
I know that's a miracle in itself that I'm even muted. Okay. So first of all, Lucian, I think it's time for us to start, get ready to step into the next unknown hour. My nugget. Don't fear the unknown. It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I put your name under it, Lucian. It's right here, and it's right below my computer, right next to all the other nuggets from Lucian. So I have a book of nuggets from Lucian, and that's my go-to, Lucian. You're my go-to. I'm blessed. Thank you for taking care of me, taking care of the center, serving in your capacity to uplift us, helping us step into the unknown. We're so very, very fortunate in a lot of arenas here at Oakland Center, but one of the truest fortunes is you choosing to come and be here with us and be a member of our family, church and otherwise. So I have a great moment of gratitude for all of you that have joined us on the call today, and all the visitors. Dre, welcome. And I see Nicole wins the Far Distance Award for Dallas, I think, tonight. But all of the folks that join us from far, Peter up in Portland and Sage in Lake Tahoe. And there's Dre with his beautiful family. Give them all a big hugging kiss, Angela and the kids. We hope you come back. So I have some announcements that I'd like to go into that you might find interesting. We have a lot going on here, and this will clarify some of the unknown. So the first unknown that we're going to clarify tonight is who is speaking next Sunday. This Sunday, April 18th, Reverend Sidney Lemonstein continues with the April theme of stepping into the unknown with a talk on the blessed two-step. Reverend Sidney is ordained in both religious science and interfaith traditions. She is also an in-demand professional jazz pianist. Our meditation is at 10 and our service starts at 10:30. And next Wednesday, April 21st, another practitioner and ministerial student Elena Hutchinson will be speaking on blessitation. So join us for that. It's talking about stepping into known. What is blessitation? We'll find out. Next Wednesday at 6:30 is the meditation and the service at 7. Remember that we have a memorial wall for Reverend Jeff, and it's still up in the parking lot right near the gardens that Margot and Diane take care of for us. So come and see the gardens and come and see the fence where you can write in your words and drawings and love for Reverend Jeff. Then walk up into the courtyard and look in the window of the social hall near the front entrance of that area, and you can view the window that's closest to the double door entrance for a beautiful altar that we've set up in honor of Reverend Jeff. Actually, Janine put it together for us. I send blessings and thoughts of love to Janine tonight. If you're wanting to be in a more intimate setting with other villagers, join one of the small groups at the center. I have joined the Noontime Spiritual Journey group. Many members are here tonight. This is a wonderful experience. It happens every Monday through Friday for a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, because when I attend, my Oliver spirit kicks in a little bit. But for a half an hour of fellowship and spiritual enrichment based on the daily readings of the fabulous Dr. Daniel Morgan. Unbelievable. And we're following his book, Guidance for a Spiritual Journey. With that in mind as well, practitioner Susan Brecker, who I think is here tonight, is leading an in-person small group every Tuesday from 3 to 4 in the courtyard. And practitioner Zoe DeMuro, who is also here tonight, is leading an online small group on Thursdays at 6:30. Both of these groups explore the readings of the week and allow us to enjoy the connection the gathering affords. Information on all these groups and events is on our website. As you know, go to the events page to see about these special events we just talked about. Now, please mark your calendar for April 18th, Sunday at 8 p.m. There will be an event called Recline and Release Soundscape for Deep Relaxation. It will be held this Sunday. You must sign up by 9 p.m. on Saturday, the night before, in order to receive the Zoom call-in information. This hour-long event is in honor of Reverend Jeff in the village as we make our way forward into our greatest yet to be. All the details about what is involved are on the events page of our website. All love donations will be going to the Center for Spiritual Living Teen Camp Capital Fund in Reverend Jeff's name. So please check your village news for more information about that fund. As well, go to the events page. You need to register in order to receive the link that will allow you to attend the event. Let me repeat that. You need to register on the events page to receive the link in your email as an invitation so you'll be able to connect. This is not a drop-in event. Okay, folks? Also, Diversity Circle is on Friday, April 23rd. Diversity Circle is exploring the uprise in Asian American racism. This monthly event starts at 7 p.m. Details and a link to make a love offering is on the events page. It's always the last Friday of the month. The courtyard book sale is back. This will be out in the courtyard in the open air where it's safe. Social distancing, hand washing, masking will all apply. But if you attended the one last month, you might want to tell your friends and come back and see what else is for sale. Everything's 30% off. It's all out in the courtyard. April 24th, that's a Saturday from 10 to 3. And you'll be able to shop and socialize with the village in the courtyard. Tell your friends, please join us. Thursday, April 22nd is Earth Day. From the title of his book, The Nature of Things, to his love of fly fishing, Reverend Jeff loved nature and all it teaches us. In our village news, there is a list of things you can do to care for our earthly home. Remember to like our Facebook page. Remember that oaklandcsl.org, where you came in to attend this meeting today, is information central as we continue to shelter in grace. It is the information central for all of our digital and physical activities at this time. Also, you can check out the Wednesday and Sunday services on our YouTube page. Check out everything that's on the events page. And if you would like to receive our newsletter, Dre, and everyone that's here for the first time, I ask that you sign up for it. It's real easy. It tells you what's coming up in the next week with all the links and all the information. It's called the Village News. It will be sent to your email. And all you have to do is go to where else? The Oakland Center's website page, left-hand side, low banner. On the left banner, low at the bottom of it, you can enter your email, type it in, and press the submit button, and you'll be on the next sending of the Village News. So I hope you'll consider doing that. Then you'll know in advance, Dre. It won't be unknown when Lucian's in town, okay? I really would hope that you would thank me and thank our Zoom team behind the scenes. None of this is possible. Peggy, our hostess, Barbara, Sage, Alice, and the fabulous Peter. People from north and south joining us today and taking care of us. It's time for our offering. So I hold our digital receptacle in front of me and I pass it down to Lucian and then to Dre and to Luis and all around all the cubes, receiving your loving gifts and offering. I'm so grateful for our communications, our ability to get together, and your donations that help make these things happen. So if you repeat with me, we'll bless this offering. This gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. Now, if you don't want to give in my little digital bowl, you can go to our where else, www.oaklandcsl.org. Right there at the home page at the top is a donate button that you'll see there. That's for credit cards if you'd like to do it that way. Now, if you're I was going to say a hipster, Lucian, but maybe that's not the word. A hip hopper. That's the word I want. Like Lucian, you'll text it. You'll use the modern way to do it, not the old fashioned donate button. Use the hip hop way through texting at 510-327-3431. And if you're a hipster like me, you'll send a check to 5000 Clarewood Drive. But those are the three ways you can financially support us with your love offering. So thank you, everyone, for all that you do to be here tonight, to keep us in check. Lucian, as always, we love you, and we're so grateful that you're here. Would you close us out in prayer, sir?
And so right now in this moment, we still ourselves and allow ourselves to remember the truth, which is that there is only God, regardless of appearances, regardless of experiences, regardless of opinions. And so we step into the unknown, welcoming it and knowing that whatever it is we are facing, the end result is our God self expanding, expanding, and expanding. So we welcome the unknown. We welcome the darkness, knowing that in the end, it is all good and it is all God. And for that, I am truly thankful. So I speak this word with gratitude, knowing my word is law, knowing that my word is always manifested and never returns to me void. For this and so much more, I am thankful. I release and I let go. Amen, Ashe, and so it is.